Alright, so it's been about 9 months, almost 9 months since I did my first video on the Firefly X Lite. This sort of naked GoPro competitor came out for like around $100. And I haven't done a follow-up video because the GYROflow firmware hasn't been working. The original video I made 9 months ago, the video quality was, pretty decent. So I thought the camera was worth the $100 price tag. And I thought, okay, with a little bit of post-processing stabilization, it looked pretty decent. So I thought with GYROflow stabilization, it would look pretty good. But their firmware updates have not been working, so that's why I haven't made a video yet. Version 2 and version 3 of the firmware had some kind of issues with the gyro data having gaps in it. I don't know the technical issues or why that was happening, but basically the end results was not very good stabilized video, so I never made a video. But now version 4 of the firmware is out, and it seems like they have resolved the issues, and the gyro data looks pretty good. Now, granted, it's this gyro that's on this camera, it's pretty inexpensive. It's got a lot of noise, so you do need to use the low pass filter. I would recommend something in the range of 40 to 50 hertz is what I was using. Kind of play around with that, see what works depending on how you fly. Your results might be kind of hit or miss, really. It really depends on how you fly. It also really depends on how the camera's mounted. And what you want to have soft mounted. You want to have your camera soft mounted like I have here on my Cineweb here. That seems to yield the best results. There's still a little bit of micro jitters you'll see in the footage here. You could probably clean it up with a little bit of warp stabilizer in post, but I left it as is so you can see it basically coming straight out of GYROflow. Now, to get this to work, obviously you have to update the firmware in the camera, so there'll be a link in the video description to the download site where you can get the zip file, and then there's a firmware file in there. Put that in the root of the SD card and stick it into the camera, turn it on. It'll start flashing, I think, a red light, I believe, and then when it's done, it'll turn off, and then you'll know that the firmware has been flashed. So at that point, you'll get a video file and a CSV file, which is the gyro data, and you're going to open that up in GYROflow. I used the latest version, GYROflow 1.0 RC5, I think is what is the latest version that's currently out. Now there is a lens profile for 2.7K 60 FPS 4.3 mode in the, I guess, the official database, but I wanted to record in 4K 4.3 mode, which is a 4000 by 3000 resolution video. And so I created my own lens profile. So if you want to use 4K 4.3, use the lens profile link that's in the video description. That's not in the official database. I created that myself, but that's the results you'll see here. That's what I actually created my video files. I recorded everything in 4K. And then last but not least, but the most important thing is the Imu orientation, or the gyro orientation. You got to make sure that if the camera is upright like this, that it is set to lowercase x, lowercase y, uppercase z. That is the proper Imu orientation. I think GYROflow tries to figure it out on its own, and it actually, if you don't change it, it's actually incorrect, and you'll get very bad stabilized video. It actually doesn't work. So that is for the upright situation. If the camera is upside down, if it's flipped over or mounted flipped over somehow, then the Imu orientation is going to be all uppercase X, Y, and Z, all uppercase letters, and that is the correct gyro orientation for the camera when it's flipped upside down and mounted upside down in your quad. I also did auto sync as well. You probably want somewhere between 3 and 5 auto sync points. Usually trim my video first, and then hit the auto sync button, and that's it. I just exported it. I used all default settings, and that's pretty much the video you're seeing here. You could probably do a lot more tweaking. Obviously, there's a lot of options in GYROflow. That's not the point of this video. I'm just trying to, I just did pretty much just the bare basics, the bare minimum to get the video out of this camera, and these are the results you're going to see. So let me know what you guys think of the quality of the stabilization. Granted, there are some micro jitters there. It could be cleaned up, but I wanted to show you what the end results are of the current version 4.0 firmware on this camera. Link down in the video description if you want to check out the old videos and this where you can pick up this camera. It's kind of hard to find these days. I think Pyrojones still carries them, and AliExpress. A lot of other places are no longer in stock. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. Talk to you guys in the next video.